What's up guys, Random Razor here with another MacBook Pro video for you guys today, and finally in this video I'm going to bring you guys an in-depth review on the new 2011 edition quad-core i7 15-inch MacBook Pro. Anyways, this is the entry-level model. I've been using this for about 2-3 weeks, now, and I thought it'd be a good time to give you guys an in-depth review on it. In this video we're just going to cover the 4 major upgrades to the MacBook Pro, a quick overview of it, and of course my thoughts and opinions on the new addition to this year. But anyways, in terms of design and overall appearance, it's pretty much the exact same design for that Apple has been producing for the past 3-4 years now. Mine probably looks a little bit funny because I do have the in-case hard shell case on here. This is the Frostbite edition, and of course if you want to see a review video and stuff like that, it's already on my channel, so check that out. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started. This is the entry-level 15-inch model featuring the 2 GHz quad-core i7 processor, 4 gigs of DDR3 RAM, 500 GB hard drive, and the new ATI Radeon 256 MB discrete graphics card, and also it has the integrated Intel HD 3000 graphics card, which switches back and forth when it's needed or not. But anyways, a quick overview of the laptop first, I suppose. Of course, we just got the Apple logo on the top here, which does still shine through, and of course shines through the in-case hard shell as well. You guys can kind of see. And we open it up, still looks like a standard MacBook Pro we've been accustomed to for the past 3-4 years now. And quick overview of the ports. We got the MagSafe power adapter, Ethernet, FireWire 800, the new Thunderbolt port, which also acts as a media display port as well, 2 USB 2.0 ports. Unfortunately, we didn't see 3.0, but that's probably because of the Thunderbolt port, which Apple wants to advertise. The SD card, which also has been upgraded for this year to, they call it an SDXC, which I pretty much read that just, accommodates higher-end SD cards, with faster transfer rates and also higher capacities. And of course, their audio in and out ports. And over here we got the battery indicator light, which shines through the in-case case very well. And on the other side here, of course, we got the optical drive, the 8x super drive, and the Kingston lock key. Fortunately, some people were hoping for Apple to get rid of this. Well, of course they didn't, and it's still there. So if you still watch DVDs and stuff, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people still buy movies and stuff like that. In terms of music and stuff, I just get it online. But I'm still kind of happy that this thing is, the optical drive is still there. On the front here, it's got the hinge so your thumb can lift the lid, and over here we just got the if I close the MacBook up, still got the sleep and awake light as well as the remote sensor light. On the other side here, of course, not much. It's just the plastic hinge here. And on the bottom here, we just have the 4 rubber feet and entire lid enclosure. So if you want to access the bottom piece, you have to remove all the screws on the sides here. And the only thing I think you can be accessible to is the RAM, the hard drive, and unfortunately you can't replace the battery yourself, so you have to send that back to Apple. But Apple does advertise the battery to last 1,000 cycles, so by the time you need to replace the battery, you'll probably be buying a new notebook anyway. First, when we flip this thing open, still got the standard screen, keyboard, multi-touch trackpad, which is definitely one of my favorite trackpads thus far. On top here, we have the LED backlit screen, which has a resolution of 1440 by 900 pixels, which is fairly decent for a 15.4-inch screen. Of course, it's LED backlit, so it will definitely save a lot of energy and stuff. And battery life, of course. Got the MacBook Pro logo on the bottom here, and this is the standard screen. You can get the higher resolution screen for $90 more, and the anti-glare for $135 more, which at least in Canada here was $135. But anyways, still a beautiful screen. Of course, you got the glass overlay here, which is edge to edge, and I like this display very, very much. Glass is definitely a great material, as it's the best material to let the most light through, which is why people say the glossy screens are a bit more vibrant than the anti-glares. But anyways, I learned that from my optometrist. So yeah, edge glass screen, and my favorite thing about the glass screen, how often you scratch a window. It's a very durable screen. So in terms of catching fingerprints, it is definitely a fingerprint magnet. I know that from my iPod Touch, but I don't really see why people would be touching the MacBook screen since it's not a touch screen or anything. But anyways, it's a nice screen. On the bottom here, of course, you still get the chiclet style keys, which is definitely one of my favorite keyboards I've ever used. I used quite a few keyboards throughout the past couple years, and I do have to say the chiclet style keys are definitely my favorite. I type the fastest on it and the most comfortable. And I do have a mostly clear guard on here, so this is what the keyboard looks like without it. Anyways, of course, you got the backlight keys, which unfortunately can't really show right now. It's on high right now, and so we're in a bit of a bright room. So, but it is, of course, you get the backlight keys, which is very useful and also aesthetically pleasing as well. Two stereo speakers, and I believe these subwoofers on the left side here. Of course, they're not going to replace, external speakers, but they're fairly decent for laptop speakers, and the best I heard out of all the models that I looked at Best Buy. Anyways, also we get the famous multi-touch trackpad, and when I mean by famous, it's just the most awesome trackpad I ever used. Very simplistic, a lot of gestures. You can just do a bunch of stuff on here. 2-finger scrolling. What else? Just quite a few things, and with OS X line coming out, it's supposed to even do more, so that should be interesting to see. But anyways, that's just a quick overview. In terms of battery life, Apple rates it at 7 hours, which is down more than last year's 9 hours, but that's just because Apple's been saying they're doing more extensive testing to give more real life battery life. But anyway, 7 hours still pretty decent, a lot more higher than other laptops still on the market. And anyways, other than that, so of course you get Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and all that stuff. And I guess the next thing we'll talk about is, of course, the 4 major upgrades. Anyways, the first one, of course, is the new Sandy Bridge 2nd generation i-Core processors. And with the 15-inch MacBook Pros and up to the 17-inch MacBook Pros, it features the new quad-core i7 processors, which are supposed to be twice as fast as last year's model. And I do have to say it's a very, very fast computer compared to my 13-inch 2010 model that I used last year. And but anyways, with the MacBook Pros are definitely the first computers to use the new Sandy Bridge processors, and they're definitely very fast. And if you're looking, to do heavy, intensive stuff, or like really heavy gaming, like playing Call of Duty, stuff like that, or video editing, photo editing, then the 15-inch MacBook Pros and the 17-inch MacBook Pros are definitely a great choice for that. But anyways, that's the first major upgrade to the MacBook Pros, is the best Intel Core processors out in laptops right now. Next is the new Thunderbolt port, which Apple's been advertising as supposed to be faster than USB 3.0. They rate it at 10 gigabytes per second. Unfortunately, there isn't anything out there right now, to use it, so we can't really test it out. But it's supposed to be really, really fast, and also this couples as a mini display port as well. But we'll see how that technology goes. Also, we got the new upgraded SD card reader, which I already mentioned, and of course, another major upgrade is of course the new ATI Radeon graphics cards, which Apple has switched to from NVIDIA from last year, and I find it a good graphics card. I played a game called RuneScape on here. I don't really play Call of Duty or anything like that. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the game RuneScape, but I just want to see how it runs 3D games, and that's technically an online game, but it has pretty intensive 3D graphics, for an online game, and the MacBook definitely switched to the discrete graphics card because it did get a little bit warmer when I was playing it. So, but anyways, yeah, it's a great graphics card, and so for those of you guys who want to do video editing and all that, sorry, went out of focus there. It's a great choice with the 15-inch MacBook Pros. And the last thing, of course, is the new FaceTime HD camera, which I will fire up right now for those of you who want to. And yeah, let's just fire up Photo Booth. So here's the new FaceTime HD camera here, and it's loading up right now. So you guys can see, or maybe not see, but it's supposed to be 3 times the resolution of last year's iSight camera. And of course, they renamed this year's model to the FaceTime camera. And I do have to say, recording videos on the MacBook Pro is definitely a better quality than last year's model. I don't think I've posted anything on YouTube yet that recorded off the FaceTime HD camera, but it's supposed to be better, and hopefully you guys will enjoy better YouTube videos from videos I recorded off the MacBook here. But anyways, those are the 4 major upgrades to the MacBook Pro. Fortunately, we didn't see a redesign or anything like that, but I still have to say it's definitely a great spec bump. And for those of you who are thinking about getting the MacBook Pro, I still say it's a great time, even though we didn't see anything too major in terms of specs. We're definitely getting the latest and greatest. The great thing about purchasing this year's model of the MacBook Pro is it's kind of like buying cars. We use my Buick as an example. If this model ran from 1985 to 1990, so if you guys are or for one who's thinking about getting that car, it's better obviously to go with the models closer to 1990, because if there's any bugs or any defects or any consumer complaints, then GM would have worked it out, any issues by the end of the model year. So it's kind of the same thing with the MacBook Pro here. This model has been running for pretty much 3-4 years now, so if there's anything wrong that that has happened with the MacBook Pros, any defects or anything, Apple would have definitely fixed that problem by now, and you're definitely getting a fine-tuned machine that's been going on for 3-4 years. So it's definitely a great laptop to get. You're getting some very reliable, solid laptop, and it's been 3-4 years now, and I still think it's one of the best laptops out of everything I chose. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm an Apple fanboy or anything. I looked at other laptops. I grew up with Windows. I just wanted to try something new, and decided the MacBook Pro was the one I wanted. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video, guys.